What up, witches? Time for another occult book review. Today it's going to be The Door to Witchcraft, A New Witch's Guide to History, Traditions, and Modern Day Spells by Tanya A. Brown. First of all, this is not a super thin book. It's not like super chunky either, but it's got a little thickness to it. It's a little thick. Personally, I have to say this is one of my favorite beginner type books that I've read so far. I think this has the most useful information, the most practical information, the most information overall that you would need to decide which path you want to take. This is definitely the book that I would recommend for any beginner type witches. This book is broken down into two parts. So part one is witchcraft and practical magic, and then part two are spells, and it just breaks down, the type of spells like love, health and healing, career, friends and family, spiritual work, and protection. And then part one is broken down to understanding witchcraft, core beliefs and values, how to tip into your powers, and how to practice witchcraft. And I just want to read the little section she has for part one, because I think it sums up a lot of the book very well. So, the best way to figure out which parts of witchcraft are going to appeal to you is by learning enough to create a foundation for yourself, which I think sums up really why I like this book so much, because I feel like she does exactly that. She gives you all the information you need to be able to create a foundation for yourself and to be able to decide which path you want to take. She does it in a very good way. I feel like it's just jam-packed full of easy to read information. Okay, so then she says, to be a witch of substance, you've got to know a little history, what the core beliefs and values of witchcraft are, how to access your powers, and the various ways to practice your crafts. Those are the topics we will explore in part one, and she delivers. This is definitely a very practical guide, one of the more practical guides that I've read. It's just an easy read. It's easy to get into the information, and she gives it to you very well. I like the way the book is laid out. I like the way she decided to present the information. I think it's presented very well, and I think it's presented in a way that makes people want to read the book. Because a lot of the times, reference type books like this, where you're just wanting the information, a lot of the times they're kind of boring, I want to say, but I feel like this entices you to read more, and just the way that she wrote it is very nice. I also think it's good that she broke it up in some places. Even if I just skim, there's just some places have some little illustrations, and then there's these little sections. It's these little sections where there's little blurbs, and then there's pages like this. And I feel like stuff like that just keeps the reader more enticed. It keeps them wanting to read, and it breaks it up a little bit. So it's not just constant pages of the same text over and over again, which is okay for novels, because you're not really you're reading it, but you're really visualizing a lot of it. But for a book like this, where it's mostly just practical knowledge and things that you just want to know, it's kind of hard to visualize things because it's literally just information. So when you have some breakup like this, it gives your mind a chance to something new, so it's not just always the same thing. So same thing this page, it's something to look at that's visually appealing. I think she gives just right information for people to be able to decide which path they want to take. Oh, I didn't even say who it was illustrated by. So it's written by Tanya A. Brown, but it's illustrated by Chloe Besson. Besson. I'm gonna say Besson. It's I can't even get into just how much information is in the book. You just have to read it. Trust me, you're going to want this to be in your collection, whether it's you're old or new, just any of it. I think this is a good book to just add to your little repertoire. You can even see in chapter 4, she gets into coven or solitary. She gets into traditions, rituals, ceremonies, calendars, days of the week, all of that good stuff. Altars, tools. So literally all the information that you want is in one little handy dandy book. Because I feel a lot of the times they give very, yes, she gives a lot of information, and let me explain this correctly. A lot of the times book gives the barest information about a lot of topics. I feel like she gives a lot of information about a lot of topics. I think it's a good, well-rounded, hefty book. I think another really helpful part is this section with all the symbols, just all in one section for you, and gets into like the alphabet and everything. And like I said, just like more visually appealing pages that help people want to continue to read the book. A lot of the reason why I like the book is because of the information inside of it, but also just the layout of it and the way that she decided to present the information, I think is done very well. And I think it's what kept me interested in it more than the information. I mean, the information was good, but I feel like this made me want to keep reading it because there were like pauses and breaks and little things on the sides and like pictures, and it kept me interested. And as someone that reads long novels, when it comes to information books, I'm just like, yawn, but this kept me interested. All right, so that's all in part 1. And then part 2 is just literally spells. So part 2 says, part 1 was all about learning as much possible about witchcraft and magic. In this section, we're going to walk through the door into the world of witches and begin practicing spells. The spells here cover topics of love, health and healing, career, friends and family, spiritual work and protection. And I gotta say, on both parts, she delivered exactly what she said she was going to do. As far as the feel of the actual book, this feels like those smooth, buttery, print-on-demand type of books, which I don't mind. I don't mind a print-on-demand book. I actually love the way print-on-demand books feel. They just feel like butter. They feel very nice. As far as I could tell, I didn't find any grammatical errors inside of it. Like I said, the language was very easy, very readable, easy readability. I think that anyone would really like this book. And I think that they would comprehend it and understand it without needing to pick up a dictionary. Because as we know, I have yet to finish the Kabbalion. And even though the Kabbalion, I don't need to pick up a dictionary for it, it's just very convoluted and it's very like, I'm just like, hey, just give me the information and stop giving me the fluff. So I am going to read the Kabbalion. I do want to finish it. I am going to finish it. I promise. I say that every time I do a book review, but I am going to do the Kabbalion. It's just full of so much fluff. I'm just like, can I just get the information? Like, all I want is the information. This just gives me the information. So let's read the back to see if she delivered what she said she was going to. So in this little section is what I'm going to read. So witchcraft through the ages, learn the history and evolution of the craft up to present day, check. Know the traditions, understand the techniques, rituals, and ceremonies that are available to you, check. Number 3, tap into your power, decide what kind of witch you want to be and start practicing, 3, check. And number 4, cast spells, manifest your intentions with spells for love, health, career, friendship with family, spiritual work, and protection, 4, check. She delivered on all 4 of these, so I'm happy. If I read the back of a book and the book delivers what the back of the book says it's going to deliver, then I'm a happy customer. This was actually a gift for me. I did not buy this one. My coworker bought it for my birthday for my wish list, my Amazon wish list. I think it was like $13. The back of the book says $17.99. She got it from Amazon. I'm pretty sure it was somewhere from like $13 to $15. I don't think it was $17.99. But for reference type books, I'm always willing to spend more money. On novels, for some reason, I wait for there's deals on reference type books because I guess because I read novels so frequently, it's like I would be spending so much money if I didn't wait for the deals. But for reference books, I don't read them as frequently. So, you know, I'm okay spending a little bit more money on a reference book because it's something that I'm going to keep going back to. I usually don't reread novels. I will reread fanfics though. I'll reread a fanfic over and over again. Look at it, like, how could you not want to read this? It just makes you want to read it. Overall, I think I would give this a 10 out of 10. I think she delivered on everything she said she was going to deliver on. It's jam-packed full of information. It will literally help you wherever you are in your journey. I think this book is a must. And I'm happy I got it. I'm happy it's in my collection. And for anyone wondering what type of beginner books they should be getting, I'm going to recommend this one. I'm going to recommend this one as the first beginner book that you get so far, because I haven't read that many beginner books, but maybe like 4 or 5. But so far, this one is my favorite out of them. So if you're wondering what beginner book you should get this one. Okay, bye.